All right, this video is going to walk you through advanced scenario 3. So just a quick look at the notes. Henry and Claudia are married and want to file a joint return. They have one child, Alyssa, who is 5 years old and live with them all year. They all lived in the U.S. all year and have individual taxpayer identification numbers. Henry earned $37,000 in wages. Claudia had $5,000 in wage income, and they had no other income. Henry and Claudia provided all of the support for Alyssa. So the first question, number 6, are Henry and Claudia eligible to claim the earned income credit? So to figure that out, we're going to go over to IRS 4012, go over to the table of contents, and then we're going to go to the section that talks about the earned income credit and see the requirements to qualify for that. So we're going to click on this one right here, where the summary of the EIC eligibility requirements. And we're going to look and see if they fit these criteria. So we're going to look at Part A, rules for everyone. So first one is taxpayers and qualifying children must all have social security numbers that is valid for employment by the due date of the return. Now looking back at the problem, they all actually have individual taxpayer identification numbers, which are not social security numbers. Basically, it's like a substitute, so they have a number so that they can be recognized by the IRS, but it is not a social security number, which means they actually will not qualify for the earned income credit because they have the individual taxpayer identification numbers instead of social security numbers. So the answer for that one would be B. Moving on to number 7, Henry and Claudia can claim Alyssa for which tax benefits? So first we're going to look at the dependency exemption. Can they claim Alyssa as a dependent? So again, moving back over here, go on to the table of contents. We're going to find the section that talks about dependency. So we're going to look here, the dependency. Again, there's another table, just a couple of pages before that you can use as well. I prefer this one, and it's a little bit easier. So we're going to just go through it. So can you or your spouse, if filing jointly, be claimed as a dependent on another taxpayer's tax return? No, they cannot be claimed as dependents. Was the person married as of December 31st? No, Alyssa was not married. So we're going to step 4. Was the person a U.S. citizen? Going back here, it says that they did live in the U.S. all year, and it doesn't say anything about not being U.S. residents. So we're just going to assume that they are residents and citizens for the purpose of this problem. So yes, moving on to step 5. Was the person your son, daughter, stepchild? Yes, it was their daughter. Go ahead and move to step 6. Was the person under age 19? Yes, she was. Meets that criteria. Did the person live with you as a member of your household? Yes. Did the person provide more than half of his or no, she did not. Go ahead and move on. Is the taxpayer a qualifying child of any other taxpayer? No. So she does qualify as a dependent so that they can get the dependency exemption. So that one is good. Moving on, check the child tax credit. So to check this one, again, we're just going to go back to the table of contents and we're going to find the section that talks about the child tax credit. So a good way to kind of narrow it down is we do know that it is a credit. So we're going to find a section that talks about credits. Okay, non-refundable credits. Find something in here that looks relevant, and then here we find the child tax credit. Perfect. So we click on that, and then we're just going to go through it and see if she fits the criteria. So qualifying child under age 17 at the end of tax year, yeah. A U.S. citizen or U.S. national. Again, we're going to assume that she was a U.S. citizen. Claimed as your dependent, yes, they're claiming her as a dependent. Your son or daughter, yep. Did not provide over half of his or her own support, we're good there. Lived with the taxpayer for more than half of the tax year. Yes, she did that as well. So she does also qualify for the child tax credit. So she qualifies for the dependency exemption and the child tax credit. So that would mean A would be the answer for number 7.